Man, couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Sick of living like a blind man. Tired of life without a sense of feeling. And this is how we start streaming. This is how we start streaming. Clicking in OBS. This is how we start streaming. Open multiple chats. It's not like you to say howdy on twitch.tv, youtube.com also. Hey, I see it is Etho. Howdy, Etho. Do do do. I guess it's Friday 'cause Etho's online. I've been kidding my friends. He is here on weekends and weekdays. He is having fun, yeah. Jevin says, we are at Cubs Arena, Joe and Etho. Ah, okay, cool. I was going to set up my stream, like, you know, like setting up the stream. Like, here's a song. Here's a song I wrote. Let's do the Outska version. Why can't I hear it? Let's turn that up a little.
You gotta think about a time long past, long before all this. The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing strong. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Thank goodness, how'd it get so late? Lay your head down and dream.
Lay your head down
and dream. Just let your mind float downstream. Sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. The city is bright, but the stars keep growing dimmer. The dishwasher runs, and you find forks for dinner. Killing lights, charging phones, setting alarms to make their tone. Winding down, closing blinds, the rest for tomorrow when there's time. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Just let your mind float downstream. Sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream.
Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight y'all are my live streaming audience. Welcome, welcome. As you can see, the face camera has already expanded a little bit, just a wee bit right there, because we got some tips rolling in on the morning stream. We are 15 away from our first face camera expansion of the evening. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. And yeah. So welcome, everyone. Yeah, we don't play the Outska Country variant very often, but I like that. The Minecraft King says, how many times do you stream a day? Depends on the day. When the stream isn't working right, sometimes I start and stop the stream 25 times, and everybody gets real mad at me, and a lot of them unsubscribe. But I'm just like, well, the internet's not being very functional. But anyway. Welcome, Asteri, Magenta, and Ellis. Welcome, Triforce, Clan Meditation, Lady Vaporeon, Perseal, Iconic Anemone, Chloe the Great and Powerful, Circle 10, Introverted Kid, Devin Krates, Dave USPS, The Void Flannel Punk, Polaris Northstar, McAdoo, Fake Zircon, Introverted Kid, Chesius, welcome Ad Astra, welcome Zenio, welcome everyone. We got 3 chats, yo. Okay, so here's what we are actually working on tonight. Is the outside of the back box. I've got the Photoshop in the upper left. I've been trying my best to recreate this on the side here with mixed results. This is going to be definitely a first draft We're gonna see how it goes and modify it from there. But it's kind of okay. Now, at the same time, I think some of our friends want to play children's card games, so I'm gonna try really hard to get at least a little bit of this done. A little bit of this done. But honestly, it's been a long day, and I'm not sure how much build-in I've got in me. So we'll see. Okay. Whew, especially because I just spent like, 2.5 hours learning a new video game. I was like, boy, like, we got done with dinner, and it was like 5:20. And I was just like, oh boy, what are we gonna do for the evening? The weather is kind of like rainy and not very nice. It's like drizzly and cold, so it's not like a good night. Like, oh, let's go for a walk or let's go do something outdoors. And I was looking at the Belcourt like our local independent theaters films for the night, and I was like, none of these seem really great for kids. So, anyone else seeing the audio desync? Hopefully not. I can temporarily turn down the resolution over here. That'll help usually. Okay, so that should be a little better. That seems better. Okay. So, where was I? So anyway, I was like, okay, well, if I was willing to spend $30 going out to the movies before being disappointed by there not being any movies. Chris P tips 5 and says, right on, right on. That's our first tip of the stream. Let's go ahead and get up here so that I can... So that I can hold up the abacus. Get that 5 on there. That puts us 10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. So thank you very much, Chris P. So then I was like, okay, well, Octopath Traveler came out tonight. Octopath Traveler 2. Maybe my 10-year-old daughter would like to play Octopath Traveler with me. It's a single-player game, but, like, we've put up, like, Zelda on the TV before and just kind of talked about the game, and, like, I was technically piloting it, but we were, hang out and discuss what was going on and make choices or whatever when I was playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. And so I'm like, Octopath Traveler 2. But that's only twice the cost of going to the movies. Maybe that's worth looking into. And then I started thinking about that, and I was just like, I'm looking at the Nintendo store, and I'm like thinking about that $60, and I'm like, And then I remembered my daughter talking about how much she was enjoying Gemini Tay's Stardew Valley videos. And Stardew Valley is $15, and it's co-op. So, for the very first time this evening, I purchased Stardew Valley twice, because I bought a copy for me and a copy for my daughter so we could play co-op together. Even though with the Nintendo Family Plan, you can play at separate times with only one copy of the game, since the whole point was us to play together. It didn't take too long to download because it's not a huge game. And we got about 2 hours of playtime in. Minecraft King says, Joe, how do you manage YouTube streams and Twitch streams at the same time? Oh, it's easier because the text and the chats move half the speed. It actually moves a third the speed. I have 3 chats. I have a Discord chat for Patreon patrons, too. So anyway, yeah, we got to day 10 in Stardew Valley. My daughter was it was also a good choice because, like, with Octopath Traveler 2, I'd be like, well, I played the first one, so I can kind of help guide us on how to play. But for a kid, that's not as fun having your parent tell you how to play. Whereas, like, with this, it's like she had watched Jem play the game, even though my daughter had never played it herself, and I was completely ignorant, other than, like, I used to play Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo, like, 20-something years ago. So I was like, okay, I know the broad strokes overview of how a farming sim works 2 decades ago. But my daughter has actually been watching Jem play, and so she got to kind of steer and be like, okay, we need to go do this, we need to go do that, and, I would have questions and be bringing them to her. And so that was a really good experience. We're going to definitely be playing that again. Badger Diggs writes, I've been playing Stardew with my sister every week for months now. It's a great game, very chill, and easy to have a conversation. Yeah, yeah. So I was going to say, any parents out there who are looking for like a cheap game to play with your kids, it's $15 per Switch that you're running it on simultaneously. So if you have 4 kids, you're all going to be out $60. But once again, that's one copy of Octopath Traveler. So did I say 4 kids? 3 kids. If you have 4 Switches, you're out $60. But yeah, it was a very, very chill game. Yeah, the fishing is so hard. I was like, so with the fishing, they're like, you have to tap the Y button to make a bar move up and down, and it's the most maddening thing. And like I would have this like extended like what felt like a 5-minute fight with a fish trying to make the bar move up and down, and it's trying to get away, and I'm trying to move the bar up and move the bar down to catch the fish. And then I would finally land the fish, and it would say, "You caught a sardine, 1 inch." And I'm like, all this for a fish that's literally this big. It took me that long to reel in a teeny tiny fish. Asteri says, fishing gets easier as you level up because the bar that overlaps the fish grows in size. That's good to know. But yeah, that is a frustrating minigame. Grayswinder says, I imagine if you have 4 Switches, you're not concerned too much with how much you're spending on games. Well, I would imagine if you have 3 kids, you probably do have to worry about money. Maybe saving up to buy those Switches was difficult, but I don't know. So, my point was, like, in terms of making a recommendation to a family, if you're trying to get some bang for your buck, as, like, a game that would be good to play with multiple kids. Because it was just me and my daughter tonight, but the co-op scales up to 4 players, and I didn't see any reason it would be worse with 3 or 4 players. The voice says, I recommend using crab pots to level up fishing first. I didn't even know those existed. I don't think I can even buy those or craft those yet. But, yeah, let's see, what are we doing here? So we got this spiral that you can see in the Photoshop directly above my head there. That's the galaxy that we're rendering. And you can see, why is it so dark on this screen here? Huh. I don't know, for some reason the screen brightness was turned down. It's not actually that dark. But okay. So if we fly around in the camera mode there. The voice says, I only discovered the crab pots at year 5 of my farm. Oh, cool. Dave USPS says, my daughter mostly loses interest in games that involve reading instructions in favor of Minecraft. Well, I mean, you know your kids better than I do. I'm just saying, like, I tried this on a lark, because I was like, I want to do something with my kid, and I was thinking, like, oh man, we had so much fun playing Breath of the Wild, and the, what's that Breath of the Wild Legends or Heroes? There was a co-op game where you replay part of the story of Breath of the Wild, but like Breath of Wild Champions. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on what it's called. Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, that's it. Hyrule Warriors is really good for co-op but I don't know if you can do that with more than 1 kid. But yeah, that one because, like, you can turn down there's a difficulty thing where you can make it hard for the kid to die. And that's always helpful in co-op games when you're playing with a kid. My kid's old enough now, we could probably play it on normal, but I think we got that 3 years ago. The Hyrule Champions. Uh-oh. Might have been called Age of Calamity. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, maybe. I don't know, whatever it is. It was like a Breath of the Wild spin-off in a different genre, which was weird, but, like, it actually had a really good story. And since we had played through Breath of the Wild with my daughter sitting next to me, she was, like, already invested in the setting and the characters and stuff. I don't know why the camera's so far off to the side tonight. Okay, so As you can see, I'm over here. This is a live camera feed from the spectator camera. And I need to kind of just make this generally work first. Yeah, Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, there's a Breath of the Wild Hyrule Warriors. We tried playing the earlier one, but she didn't like that as much. Okay. So I'm up here. I need to get my I'm like, why can't I figure out what I'm doing? I can't see Photoshop. It's behind something else. So let's zoom in on Photoshop and start making some decisions. Da-na-na. Dee-dee-dee. So I think that what I'm gonna have to do is realistically all of these like greenish ones I'm gonna have to do maybe as different browns or something. I feel like I'm gonna have to redo this whole palette for all of these blocks in here because we don't really have any sort of chill green that matches this. It's like a yellowish green. Have I hacked my Switch? No. I like tinkering with stuff, but the thing is, I don't have enough time to tinker with stuff and then get it working again. So I'm at this point in my like exhausted single parent thing where it's like I know if I have like a Linux desktop, half the time it's not going to be booting because I'm going to be messing with it. If I try to start hacking my Switch, I'll get halfway through it and then I'll have to make dinner and then I'll never get back to it. It's just I'm just at the point like in my life where I need to accept that no matter how much time I think I have for a task, I have less and just make peace with that. But yeah, I'm sure it's easy enough to do if you aren't going to get interrupted in the middle. But I can't count on not getting interrupted in the middle. Okay. Stardew Valley is on Steam as well. Yeah, my kid doesn't really have a Steam account. And so and also for like airports and driving, the Switch is easier. So most of the time if I'm buying her a Nintendo game, like we've got some travel coming up and stuff. Nothing like crazy, but like we're going down to Tennessee game days and whatnot in a couple weeks, and it's just easier to have stuff on the Switch. Dave USPS says, my problem with tinkering is, can I afford to replace this if I break it? And that's the thing is, I can't. Well, and like, because what'll happen is, people will be like, oh yeah, you can fix this. You just have to download this thing onto a USB drive. And I'll be like, oh, I can't find my USB drive right now. I'll find it later. And then it'll just sit there for 9 months inoperable. Right? That's like, do I have the ability to spend an extra hour looking for something? Because like I'm gonna be like, oh, I think I know where my USB drive is, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not there anymore. It's in this drawer in this. Oh, that furniture's gone. Oh well, then I'm like, well, should I go shopping for new furniture to store USB drives in? I just can't. I cannot guarantee the level of focus and time required because what's going to happen is I'm going to be like, okay, I've got an hour. But then a half hour later, my daughter will be like, could you make dinner early tonight? I'm kind of hungry. It's like, I really was counting on this time, but I'm hungry too, so fine. Yeah. So I just not going to deal with it. Okay. So, okay, let's see. Where are we in relation to this whole curve here? Boy. I was kind of hoping if I stepped away from this for like 10 hours and came back, I'd be like, okay, yeah. I feel like I'm seeing it all now. It's just all fitting into place. But like, I'm actually kind of less happy with this than I was, which isn't ideal. What does pink terracotta look like? I think pink terracotta is probably not going to be a good fit for this, but let me just see real quick. That's red terracotta. Just gonna get some pink dye out here. I like pink terracotta. Oh yeah, that's kind of subdued. That might actually be... That might not be helpful for this part right here. But, okay. We'll keep that in mind for later. Whoops. Ben Sanders, welcome. Glad you could join us. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It is a little bit higher saturation than I was expecting. That's okay, though. Let's top off some of these different blocks, though. Real quick. Down to 7 blocks of quartz. That's not ideal. Yeah, I don't want to use wood in this on the first pass. I might have to. Okay. So, like, if I was going to do this bit here with the brown... Oh, boy. I feel like I need to maybe just remove the greenish tint from the equation entirely and just try and do this whole bit in, like, bone blocks, which are yellowish. And, like, the stem blocks, which are grayish. Okay. Okay, so... Yeah, let's just zoom in real quick on this one part over here. And if we can make choices that make sense here, we can extend what we learned or what we did to the rest of this. Okay. So when I'm looking down this way, I've got the laptop with the spectator camera over here. And that lets me kind of see what y'all are seeing on the right side of the screen in OBS. Moss is an option, but it's too high saturation. Like, the greenish tint in Photoshop here is actually kind of misleading. Just as a quick reminder, we are $10 away from the next face camera expansion, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay, so we are 4 blocks up from the center block. Or no, 4 blocks up from here. So, okay, that's how... I mean, having a greenish tint on the outside here might not be crazy. Okay. But for the interior blocks, we're going to have to pull closer to the yellow. Tough is a slightly greenish gray. Yeah, it's too textury, I think. Frog lights are going to be too bright for this outer band here. But, okay. So now we're up to here. And at this point, I feel like pulling in brown terracotta might not be unwarranted. Let's go ahead and hop in this bed real quick, though. Mud bricks are a little bit too textured. We don't want to I'm trying to stick, at least on the first pass, with, like, simple... Maybe we come back and, like... So there's a little bit of texture on the brown mushroom block, but not too much, you know? Okay. I mean, we might be able to just kind of straight up go 3 of these here. But I'm thinking, no. 1, 2, and then 2 brown concrete, maybe. It's not an exact... I don't love it. Actually, let's maybe bring in the green here, and then have a gray terracotta there. This is one of those things that's so imperfect. Like, we're just kind of leaning into it. Yeah, I really don't love that, but it works. Yeah, we're not going to be dealing with any logs on this pass either. No wood. I think y'all are right that the end result will ultimately have logs in it, but a big part of this is that from a material gathering standpoint for the first draft, I don't want to screw with gathering more wood. Even just gathering the mushrooms has already been a hassle. The concrete powder and the dyes and the terracotta we already have, right? Like, we just need to rough this in as quickly as possible, and like having to go back and forth to buy a bunch of logs or harvest a bunch of logs is going to kill the momentum. So I'm not saying y'all are wrong about the logs. I'm saying that the logs are not a phase 1 element here, if that makes any sense. Hey, Husky. Hope you enjoy your break, and when you get back to it, good luck with your planning. I'm always happy to provide folks a little bit of a distraction when they are chilling between tasks. So good luck with everything you got going on. Let's throw this here. I think we're gonna have that kind of come in here like so, because there's a lot of like gases in that. Okay. So let me move that out a little bit so we can see where we're at. Boy, yeah, these like dark greenish ones. Those are almost gonna like dark prismarine's almost the only thing there for that. Don't love that. Yeah, we're definitely taking a lot of artistic license. This is an artistic interpretation, and not necessarily a well-informed one. So if you're here for like high definition pixel accuracy, I apologize. You're in the wrong stream. Okay. Okay, that's gray terracotta. So if we get the black terracotta back out here. Gray concrete there, maybe. This is like all its own whole thing. This whole thing is just so wild. And I think it'll look okay in the end. I mean, after all, Gatsby turned out all right in the end. It was what preyed on Gatsby, the foul dust that floated in the wake of his dreams, that left me disillusioned. Yeah, I got no idea what I'm doing. I'm just making stuff up. Okay. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, that's the other weird thing, is that this thing like collides with a bunch of other stars on top of itself. Or galaxies on top of itself. Yeah, each block represents billions of stars, no pressure. Okay. So let's see where I am here. So if we recenter me, I'm just kind of, at this point, I'm like, every block I place is progress. I'm not gonna stress out too much. I keep saying that because I'm saying that because I'm so stressed out. But I know I shouldn't be. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 10. So I'm at 8 now. I'm standing on top of those two. Okay. Okay. So if we move this over 2 and we look down. Kind of looks like that would be okay. Is another one of these. This is going to continue that way. That continues this way. So we've got a nice little spiral continuing outward there. We've got a few of these through here. With maybe an extra one there. For good measure, there's going to be kind of a 4 space in here like so. Could I have Cleo or somebody else help with this in HHH? Well, this is very interpretive. This is an artistic interpretation block by block. HHH is really good for saying everybody dig down to Y16 or everybody plant 100 trees, right? Like, okay, everybody, here is 8,000 tree saplings. Plant them all, right? That's an HHH. This is kind of its own thing. Okay. Okay, so at the 4th block up there, we're going to drop in another stem block. Okay. Okay, so... I feel like actually... Boy, now that I'm looking at this... So it's 3 blocks over. Then how many blocks up? 3 blocks up. I feel like this one here should actually be a... should actually be one of those. And as a corollary, so should this. And that's going to actually kind of make this work. Actually, that one there actually also needs to be one of these, I think. Let's see how that looks in the distance. I think that's going to give the swirl more of an outward spiral. Dang it. Hi, kitty. Yeah, that's definitely right. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Those dark blue blocks are going to have to get replaced too, actually, but not yet. They're definitely wrong, but I don't feel like changing them. I mean, or if I did, like, the drop-in replacement would be white concrete, actually. See, this is what I mean. Like, we got the shape right, and we'll do another pass where we fully come in and swap out a bunch of the blocks, but... Okay, watch this. Yep. We'll keep tweaking it. It's not perfect yet, but just see, getting the shape in there and then fixing a little bit of the palette as we went, huge improvement. We got it. We got to get the shape in first, though, or it's just not going to come together at all. So, real quick, though, we do need to hop back up here, and that was one of the ones that's going to be replaced by a bone block. Yeah. Okay. So, let's come back in. And so we're not going to do that a lot. That was just one of those things where it was like so blatantly obvious what was wrong that I was like, let's just take a second and show y'all how we are going to be able to improve this later. I'm not actually going to be doing a lot of swapping blocks on the fly. Okay. So, underneath that, we're going to grab another brown here. Yeah, these brownish greens are going to be kind of just ugly. Okay, we're going to need to get more brown concrete as well. Pink terracotta, light gray concrete powder. So somewhere in... Oh, I remember. It was in one of our other chests. We've got a bunch of wrong colored concrete we can re-dye brown. That wasn't it. Not it. I don't want the powder. Maybe we've already pulled all this out. Oh yeah, here we go. We can pull like this blue concrete. Yeah, we can dye a bunch of that brown real quick. No muss or fuss. Let's also real quickly grab another stack of rockets, just so we have it. Oops. Oh yeah, we need to go down here to get the dye. No, I missed my jump. Dang it. That's why we got more rockets too. So we don't have to worry about jump missing. Out of brown dye. Okay. Where did I put all the brown dye? I think that was back in here somewhere. In one of the plant boxes. We gathered so many cocoa pops or whatever those are. Cocoa pods. I gathered like 5 stacks of cocoa pods. Where did they go? You know, soul soil might not be a bad choice for some of these when we do another pass. When we touch this up a little bit. No. Ooh. Rooted dirt really might be a little bit too textury. But I mean, it is... It has some things going for it. I like that it's not a classic block. I don't want to use like classic stone, classic wood. But yeah, the muddy mangrove is also a good like blue. Look at that dark blue. Yeah, we might have to come back with our second pass palette. Okay, but where seriously did I drop all of the cocoa pods? Because I had so many cocoa pods. Oh my gosh. Did I put them in the birch thing? Oh my gosh, I gathered so many cocoa pods and now I'm not going to have any? That doesn't seem fair. I chopped all of the cocoa pods down that were all in here. Should I put them that way? Well, I found the pink concrete. Okay. Maybe I accidentally left them over here with the extra picks. Is that the sort of thing I would do? Would I leave them over here with the extra picks? No. Alex says, looks like you could condense all the birch chests into a single chest. Yeah, until we need another 8,000 birch logs, which we will. So... Did they get dumped in here? No. What about that one? No. Got a bunch of random stuff down here that shouldn't be down here still, too. Like all my TCG cards. Mixed with my TCG stuff. I found that missing honey. Well, we have plenty of cobblestone for Scar. Okay, let's... You know what? That honey block does need to go back, though. Let's go take that honey block back now that we know where it is. Dave USPS, that's not a storage system. That's a dump system. That's where we dump things before we take them to the trash. Like, that's basically... That's literally a dumpster. It's a linear dumpster. Sorry. Ta-da! A lot of booster packs in there. Okay. So I'm just trying to think. Where did all the jungle logs go? Because wherever the jungle logs went is probably where the cocoa beans went. Because I had to chop down all of the cocoa beans and all the jungle logs. So... let's see. So let's just double check. The logs would have ended up in one of these. There were a ton of them. And they would have ended up in one of these. So why aren't those there? Weiss Belladonna says, Joe, do you think you could make a TCG arena like Cub did? No, I don't, because I gave him all of my kelp, and kelp is a huge component in his TCG arena. So if I tried to build one like he had, I'd have to ask him to go farm kelp for me, and he wouldn't want to do that. If he liked farming kelp, he would have already had it and not needed me to provide the TCG kelp. So, oh boy. Okay. Did I put it on the roof? Hold on. I forgot I put a bunch of chests on the roof, and then I didn't move all of them back down, I don't think. Nope. Okay, I did move all of them. Just except for this. Okay, never mind. Okay. So the last remaining place, it must be somewhere here. Somehow I didn't check one of them. Okay, wait, there's 4 cocoa beans at least. That's enough to get started. But like one of these probably has a bunch of cocoa beans in it. I just didn't look through them all. Or not. Maybe I did just lose 8,000 cocoa beans, and as a result, I really can't afford to not attach these to jungle logs now. So let's go start building a new cocoa bean farm. Yay. A new cocoa bean farm from scratch. Birch Farm Storage, says Alex Bernstein. That's a great question. Hey, Badger Spanner. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could join us. So I was telling folks that my daughter and I played a couple hours of that Stardew Valley earlier, and that went pretty well. Although she got annoyed at me for trying to buy any seeds other than parsnips, because she's like, no, Daddy, those are for your second spring. I'm like, what? If we make it to year 2, we can buy the expensive seeds. Right now, we just need to focus on parsnips so that we can sell them in time for the egg festival to buy strawberries. And I'm like, but what if I want to plant cauliflower? And she's like, no, you don't want to plant cauliflower. And then I bought like 3 cauliflower seeds. And she's like, no, I just told you not to do that. And I was just like, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is we can't afford strawberries from the egg festival. And I'm like, oh, jeez. There's a lot to this game, apparently. Okay, so it really doesn't look like... Yeah, well, she's been watching Gemini Tay, and she says Gemini Tay heard from Reddit how to play the game optimally. Gemini Tay says that a lot of people on Reddit really know how to play Stardew Valley. So, yeah. So I was saying, like, this is the difference between playing a game that she's more familiar with or a game that I'm more familiar with. So she gets to... Oh, wait, these aren't even jungle logs. Why are all these... These are like oak trees. Where's the jungle logs? I'm clearly in a jungle. Okay, here we go. So, having lost our entire collection of brown dye, let's go ahead and mark this with some lights so we can find it later. Did I check the basement near the concrete maker? No, I didn't. Badger says, sounds like living in the UK and being told we need to start living off turnips instead of demanding tomatoes from stores. Are you demanding tomatoes from stores again? I'm pretty sure in the UK you're supposed to demand tomatoes from stores. I mean, I know I could go back to the VOD and figure out what happened to these. But either way, we are actually down to our second nearly dead elytra. So we should actually probably start seriously considering. Yeah, we're going to check the basement storage next. That's literally where we're going. Because folks asked. Why not move the logs to where you can get them easier? Because it would kill the tree? Not a monster. Found them. Woo. Okay. So, what can we leave in the basement that we won't be able to find later to be annoyed about? Okay, this dirt, I guess. Tomato, tomato, says Badger Spanner. So, congrats to whoever remembered it was there. We still need to go and fix our elytras before we can do anything else, but making progress. Nope Queen requests that we leave them in the basement. Sorry. You're kind of along for the ride at this point. Okay, so let's feed our galaxy stuff back in here. And free up some inventory space. We actually are running low on quartz. Is there a shop that sells quartz? Do y'all know? One of these cyan terracotta I pulled out somewhere else, but... Okay, let's go grab some broken tools and make a run to the Ender. Korean's entity sells quartz. Okay. It's probably out of stock because he was traveling. Broken tools would be in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Lakshmi13 says, my husband bought Stardew Valley on the Switch so he could play on his work trip because of Gem's video. Well, we got it because of Gem, too. I mean, clearly she knows how to sell a video game. So in we go. A little bit of caffeine. Oh, is the last bed I used in my base, or is it at the TCG? I guess we'll find out. I guess we can also turn off the Elgato and the Photoshop for right now. I was humming Indiana Jones because I was, like, swashbuckling. And I know he's not, like, a pirate, but, like... We are in the end. In the end, it doesn't really matter. You know what does matter? Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Y'all are the ones that make it possible for me to do this. So thank you for your contributions. Oh, one thing I wanted to show y'all is... Check this out. Upgraded. Yeah, Jevin did that. He was like, sorry to whoever built a thing in the Ender. I forgot to do that in the first place. And I kind of trashed your thing and moved it into the ceiling. I was like, absolutely better. Quetzalcoatl Wizard says, why no subscribe option? I don't know. I think those are only for people that sign bad contracts with Twitch.television. And I refuse to sign bad contracts with Twitch.television. But I'm not an expert on that. Like, that's the sort of thing, like, you know, people who are better at signing bad contracts would know more about. Well, the elytra's fixed at least. Okay. Hey, Stephanie Hall, we are doing well. The stream is going fine, other than the fact that I lost the cocoa beans. Found them again, though. Found them again. They were in the basement for no easily discernible reason. That's okay. That happens sometimes. That's, you know, just basement living, I guess, for cocoa beans. For whatever reason. Oh, wait, we need the sword. And I gotta keep the totem out just in case. Totems, McDotems, or whatever. Botems. Oh, I thought that was short for Quetzalcoatl. A lot of people will abbreviate things in their usernames. Like, Badger Spanner's name is actually short for Bad to the Boneger Spanner. Bad to the Boneger Spanner. But that's too long to say. So it just says Badger Spanner on the Twitch thing. You can only fit so many characters in there. You might be correct about the carpet breaking, but I don't know that I can fix it. Hold on. Uh-oh, nope. Dang it, now I dropped my terracotta. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Throw these that way. Got the carpet back. Can I get my... And there's the concrete. Okay. Hey, and there's the carpet fixed. Okay, now we can eat a nice pork chop while we repair our tools. Is there a trash can for the ender pearls here? Yes. Here's 16 of them. Okay. So I think that's everything repaired then. I don't think HermitCraft ever had an experience orb merge. I think that might have been Thaumcraft. Maybe one of the modded series had it. Not ever vanilla HermitCraft. Maybe one of the modded series. But here we go, up in the sky, up and away, Junior Birdman. There's a dragon nestled above us. Yep, I'm back here, because why wouldn't I be? This is where I sleep. So here we go, soaring above the HermitCraft server. There's a bunch of questions. Ether was slain using onion slicer. What's that? Oh. Literal tears. Badger says, I remember Azuma putting one in Season 6. I don't know if I used the Ender in Season 6, because I think in Season 6 I had my own... No, wait, Season 6 was Season 6 Finity. I don't know if I repaired... Some seasons I didn't really use gear that needed repairing very often, or I had like a local spider farm or something. Yeah, my base might have had a spawner or something that season. I don't know. Or wherever I was hanging out at the time. It's... All these seasons run together. Like it was 85 degrees yesterday in Nashville. That's not seasonal. It's not seasonable. It's just a mess. Okay. Hey, welcome, Eclogs. Okay. So, we got our tools fixed. Got our extra experience orbs. So let's go drop the extra tools actually back down here. I actually think... y'all are gonna hate me for this. I need to move all of these pickaxes. Which means we need to go back up here and drop off all of these other things. Eclog says it's snowing in San Francisco and our hearts broke. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to hear Manu ranting about the weather in California on Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 tonight. Because I'm sure it is just absolutely bonkers. Like, from what I was reading, yeah, there was, like, they were expecting, like, 7 feet of snow outside of LA. It's just like, yeah, it's a lot for LA. Like, I know that's technically, like, the mountains around LA, but that's still a lot of snow for that area in one, like, swoop. Meanwhile, over here in Tennessee, it was 85 degrees yesterday. I know that that's part of, like, how storm systems work. Like, the cold air being sucked down, the warm air is, like, yin-yanging around it, like, shearing and stuff, but... Ceiling Swirl says, down here in Texas, we just lost power for 2 weeks. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we need to move all of these extra picks down to here. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and empty this one out temporarily in favor of making this our new tool chest. So I realized for the last episode I needed to record something where I show off all the tools that are prepared for HHH and like that this area is kind of a mess, which it is. So hooray, we did it. Let's real quick put our cards back in the ender chest though. Okay. This box needs to be emptied. What is... This is just trash. This is... Potions of fire resistance. We need to consolidate these potions. We can turn these into blocks. Okay. Let's pull our potion chest. Do any of these have gaps? 21 more, 15 more, 13 more. Okay. Slow falling can go in here, as well as fire breathing or whatever. Oh, this is literally called slow falling potions. Let's take those three slow falling potions out. Put them back in this one. Okay. Let's take the phantom membranes and put those in the slow falling potions box as well. So these are garbage. Yeah. Let's empty everything but the cobble out of this so we can at least have this one be a full cobble box. Okay, and then we'll put everything else in these other things away here. Extra torches can go in here. Okay. Redstone, ready. Cobblestone for Scar. Okay. Then take that one back for future uses. We'll deal with that one later. That one's part of our wood storage. So, boy. We do need to consolidate some of these down. Enchanted books, mangrove plants. The gear bag and the toolbox need to be consolidated down at some point. Okay. Let me just make sure. I'm going to check PayPal on my phone. I don't think we've gotten any PayPal tips at all this evening. It's just been YouTube. So, just in case the alerts aren't coming through, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are $10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Making sure I keep the phone out of the camera when I'm entering multi-factor things. It's like, here's a top secret 6-digit code. Let me wave this around. Okay. Nope. Okay, nothing coming in. That's fine. I'm just, the last thing I want is for people to be like, man, how come Joe isn't thanking me? Okay. GT Buckets, thank you for the 2. That's going to get us $8 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Okay, so. Alright. So, we've got a few extra shulkers here. It is getting dark. I was like, is it bedtime in the game? Because part of me is like, This galaxy thing is a whole thing. And we do need to get back to it. But another part of me is like, we also need to cut a bunch of giant holes in the back box bottom that we haven't done yet. Totem and offhand. That's a good suggestion. Efficiency 5, fortune 3. Oh, yeah. This non-silk touch, non-efficiency pickaxe needs to go away. I don't know why you're rolling in and spamming something I've never heard of. I can't tell if you're a bot or not. I'm just gonna time you out because recommending things at random that are off topic are not good. Okay. Wow. Okay. I turned down some of the video settings for exports the other day, and I feel like the map levels being set to 0 is creating some weird stuff on the textures on the backdrop there. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, sorry, that was just driving me nuts. Like, there's still some weird texture warping on the walls, but ooh, it felt like it was like 100 times worse. Yeah. Okay. Server, here we go. We're gonna take those 2 shulkers and put them back up there. Okay, so spare shulkers, we're just gonna start putting on the back wall here. Actually, this one's not a spare. That one is part of our wood collection over here. That can go inside of there. Great. Okay. And so can that one, technically. Wheat seeds and kelp. Yep. Okay. So the question is, would I rather tear up the floor at this point in the night or try to keep working on the galaxy? I feel like even making a small amount of progress on the galaxies is good, but like I'm starting to worry that I'm going to be too tired and have to do a bunch of rework on the galaxy stuff. Whereas there's 3 giant holes that need to go in the floor here. So why don't we switch over to the recording view? Start recording. HermitCraft Season 9, Episode 56, Segment Bravo, Take 1, and action. This is all really coming together. The spiral galaxy right here. Take 2. This is really coming together. One of the biggest points of interest on the entire skin of the machine is this galaxy right here. And wow, it has been taxing my brains trying to figure out how to get this all right. I need a break. I've spent about 10 hours total getting this done so far over the last 2 days or so. And the bottom part was pretty okay, but this part here, really, really mentally taxing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and worry about another part of this. Did I not take any fall damage there? Or is the server lagging? We'll find out momentarily when I die. Okay. In the short term, what I'm thinking is, since I'm kind of feeling like I'm too tired to do that without messing it up somehow, there's 3 gigantic holes we need to punch in the floor of the back box here that I have yet to punch. So why don't we go ahead and mark those out? Basically, these holes are designed to have heat from the inside of the cabinet rise up and out through the vents up there. They're also designed for cable conduits and whatnot to, carry data and electrical signals and electrical power from the power supply up into circuit boards here. Signals come from the circuit boards down to lights and things. So basically, right now, if you were looking at this, you go, how would that stuff get anywhere? It can't. We need to dig those holes. So I'm going to go ahead and get my measuring stuff out and figure out where those go. Time skip. Okay, so we're going to stop recording. I don't know if that was a great take, but, like, I feel like I got enough in there. Arcturus, the voice and energy change from stream to video recording is wild. The difference is, if I talk the same speed, if I talk that fast during the streams, I'd be too tired to stream for 2 hours. And if I talk as slow as I normally talk during the streams and the video, I would be angry at myself when I was editing them. When you're editing video, you want the speed to be fast. If you watch my old videos, I used to talk a lot slower. And then the more effort that I started putting into editing and the more time I spent listening, the more I was like, oh my gosh, I should have just, if I had said this so much faster, I could get more into this episode. So. Carly Shane says, how do you know a song is not related if you haven't heard the song? Also, how does suggesting something twice equals spam bot? Okay, well, a few things. One, a lot of the random suggestions that come in are from spam bots. Two, you didn't state how it was related, and you also said, I'm just going to leave this here, that's it, type of thing. And that's the sort of thing, like, a lot of times bots will do so that people don't ask them follow-up questions, or so people don't expect follow-up questions. So the fact that you're actually talking now means that you're not a spam bot. If I was certain you were a spam bot, I would have banned you, right? Which I did not do. But the thing, like, I've been streaming since 2008, and I used to stream for 3 or 4 people at most in my audience. And I was still banning 2 or 3 spam bots a night. It doesn't matter how big your audience is. People will write code to connect to rooms and recommend things because they're paid to, right? And so, yeah, this is a 15-year-old habit at this point, but it's this is not a judgment on you. This is just the way that these sorts of environments are. But like I said, I've experienced enough to go, this person might not be a bot. I'm only going to time them out. So, yay. Yep, I was back on Ustream. Yep, I was on Ustream, streaming drawing streams. And then I was on Justin TV. And then that got bought, or that became Twitch TV, which got bought by Amazon. And then I moved to Beam because I liked that it was independent, and that got bought by Microsoft, who then gave it away to Facebook. And so now that I was streaming on YouTube, I've been streaming all over the place. And this is one of the reasons I don't have any allegiance to any particular service, right? They're not, So yeah, don't take it personally. Like, if you act like, there are certain things where, like, it just seems a little body. No worries. I'm not upset with you. I'm just letting you know, like, that sometimes there's false positives. I knew this was on the line. That's why I timed you out and didn't ban you. We're all good. We're all good, Carly Shane, and I am very pleased that you are a real person who is hopefully still happy to be here. So, no worries. No worries. Okay. So, punching these holes here. I need to send a photograph. How did I get the other photographs onto the computer? Because my phone and this computer don't really talk to each other. And did I email them to myself? Like, how did I... It's been a while since I sent new pinball machine photographs to the thing. But I definitely... Okay, so I want to send this one. what I must have done is airdrop them to my laptop and then like put them on a Google Drive or something. That I don't like my streaming computer and everything else really talking to each other, because this is the one that I play games on, that I sometimes get sent binaries from people at PAX. So I like to kind of air gap this one a little bit. It's not true air gapping, but core concept. Eclog says, how do I get pictures on the computer? It's like, well, because I make a point of not connecting the phone to the computer. Right? Like, I'm like, what was the elaborate set of steps that I used to get these over there? Okay. So we're going to temporarily unplug this so we don't risk accidentally turning that back on. I'm going to go to my laptop. Oh, yeah, and apparently... Yeah. Okay, so... we need to export both of these as JPEGs because the phone saves them as something else. So let's... File... export selected images... documents. Hopefully that actually sent them Okay, so I exported those both as JPEGs. Now then I can add them to a Google Drive that I can access from the computer. Democracy says, I usually send them to Discord to pass them between devices. Oh, that would have been smart. That would have been smart. Yeah. But let me just... real quick. Yup. Apparently I created a pinball reference folder on the Google Drive. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, I don't always have Discord on my phone. Like, if I have, like, an important call on Discord, like, so, like, I keep Discord removed from my phone most of the time, but, like, every Thursday there's a HermitCraft call, and I have to reinstall it on my phone so I can stay on the call for our meeting while I go pick up my daughter. I was gonna say our daughter, but it's not really HermitCraft's daughter, too. It's just my daughter. Okay. So... pinball reference. And then we're going to download these two items. Okay. Opening drive download. Okay, so I think that I want to drop this one into OBS. Is it not going to go? Really? What? You used to just be able to... Am I... Oh, it's because I didn't unzip the, Okay. Yeah, you can't take something inside of an archive and drag it into OBS. Or can you? Huh. Okay. Well, whatever. Add image. Wait, there's an image slideshow? Oh, that's cool. OBS is always adding stuff. And, like, I've been using it for so long that sometimes I'm like, what? When did that get in there? And somebody will be like, 25 years ago, Joe. That was added 25 years ago this September. Okay, wait, so where is this? Oh, no, it still didn't actually extract it. Extract all. That's why it didn't work. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to shrink this down here. But yeah, so you see that so this is with the back box leaning forward. These are the conduit holes in the lower part of the cabinet, because I had to pack up the machine to send it back to George Don't Panic Flip Fisher. Thanks again to George for loaning it for so long. I'm realizing, though, that means my measurements are from the edge of the bottom of the cabinet, not from the edge of the bottom of the back box, which is fine, though, because I can figure out where that is by looking through these holes that I cut. Actually, I might have actually marked that with something else, like... Yeah, okay, so there it is. Okay, so this is the actual edge. Okay. So, let's see. How far over is that? So that looks like it is a 8.5 to... So the diameter on that circle is looking kind of like 2.5 inches. Does that make sense as a sanity check? No. Well, let's just do it in millimeters because that's easier. Okay, so 8.5 from 16. So that's 7.5 centimeters times 2.37 is 17 blocks. So these are going to be some 17 block in diameter circles. And they're going to... Let me make a... I need to write this down. HC9-056. I don't know why. I was like, punching holes is easy. I can do that when I'm tired. And then I forgot that I was going to have to do a bunch of math. So this is 7.5 cm circle, which is 17.8 blocks diameter. And how far is that from the edge? It's 8.5 from the edge. 8.5 cm from cab edge. 8.5 times 2.37 is 20, which is 20 blocks. Okay. I have other photos I took where I kind of show how close this is to the edge and all that, which is fine. But yeah, does seeing the conduits and the wires and stuff coming out kind of help express what I was talking about a little better? Okay. So, hopefully it does. Let's go get a bunch of torches. Because when I'm marking stuff, I like to have a bunch of torches. Buenas noches, Mike. Bum, 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 bum. Too many torches for any sane task. NJ Coffee Junkie raiding with a party of 3. Welcome. Okay, so we need to go 20 blocks in from here. So we're going to put 20 torches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 20 blocks in from here would be where our circle is going to start. So I'm going to mark that like so. That's not necessarily aligned in terms of everything else. But, NJ, that's the top of the lower portion when the back box is leaned forward. You can see there's some towels. I put our finest cheap towels between the back box and the glass before folding it over. RM Plays says, "Are you an administrator in HermitCraft?" We don't really have those. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. We don't run HermitCraft the way that like people run their CS:GO servers. So, like being an administrator here might mean something different than what you expect. Because the answer is either yes or no, depending on how you define administrator, and I'm too lazy to find out how you define administrator, because I'm just not a helpful person. Okay, so this looks like this is directly above where we need to be. So we need another 20 blocks here. And did I leave a bed on this side? Yeah, I did. Okay. So if that's... I'm just having a little hard time, like... I feel like I'm one over from the actual final wall there. That doesn't... like this... Yeah, that feels like I'm directly above where I need to be. Okay. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and then we're going to mark these like so to indicate that. Okay. So then we're going to have a gap of 18, because it's 17.8 block diameter. So let's go ahead and put 18 of these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're going to go back over here and do the same thing coming from that way. Okay, cool. And let's go ahead. And so when we look at the distance, this is 16 to 23.5. Okay, so 23.5 minus 16 equals 7.5. That's another, okay, so that's the same. That's another 18 blocks in to get to the square that we're going to cut out. Okay, so okay, 18 from there. So 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So the square is going to be cut out between these 2 points. Just going to move these other kind of borderline adjacent ones so we know there's no meaning to them. Okay. So we're we're gonna check our math by verifying. Okay, this is basically 32.3 minus 23.4. 32.3 minus 23.4, just to be 8.9 times 2.37, that's 21. So there should be 21 torches between this, roughly. And let's find out if that checks out. It might end up being 20 because of the way the machine is, but... Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we get close enough, I'll be happy. Nope, that is blatantly wrong. So that means somewhere in here I really messed up. Now, I did do some rounding, but I shouldn't have done... I was thinking with the rounding, at most I'd be off by 3 blocks. So... I mean, of all the features to have be slightly off, if this square is slightly narrower than it needs to be by a block or two, that's not going to be that big a deal. Because like this is going to be part of the elytra course. Like these 3 conduit holes will be part of the elytra course, but like it's not like a huge concern. But yeah, I am a little curious. 70 hall, yeah, I can start with the center square. I'm just trying to figure out, like... I might have started this one over one too far, maybe? Yeah, we're going to build an elytra course in the pinball machine here. So, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up... Zip73 says, LA River is crazy high right behind my house here. Crazy rain. Yeah, I heard, like, that storm is wild that just rolled down there. Carly Shane says, are we working with feet or meters? Well, we're working with blocks, which are technically meters. Every 1 centimeter is like 2.37 blocks. Mike says, so you fly like you're the pinball for part of it. Yeah, the way the elytra course will work is you'll actually come in on the shooter lane where the pinball starts. So the elytra course would actually start coming up the shooter lane here. Right? And then you'll fly around the playfield. There'll be obstacles like pop bumpers and stuff that you'll weave through. And then you'll probably, go down here, back up, around, and then you'll go down the drain. And then once you go down the drain, you'll be out down here in the machine with all the components and stuff, right? And you'll fly around there. And then there's supposed to be 3 holes that I need to cut. That's what we're figuring out, is where these 3 holes are going to go exactly in here. Stephanie Hall says, my game show knowledge says always start with the center square. Yep. So, yeah, in terms of, like, the scaling and stuff, it's okay if this is slightly off. But, yeah, I did just want to... Will I have redstone contraptions, like, with the pop bumpers? I'm not sure if I can make that work. Like, the thing is with the elytra, you're moving so fast, a lot of redstone wouldn't have time to react to you anyway. Like, in an elytra race, you're really trying to shave seconds off, right? And so, like at the point where you've activated redstone that's affecting you, you've already screwed up. It's kind of where it's at on that. Plus server lag. Yeah, it's not really reliable enough. Like it's there might be some cool redstone fueled effects, but for the most part, I'm like resigned to the fact that this is going to be a non-functional model. All right. So we got this marked out here. I'm really... Okay. So I guess the problem is we had 18 times 4 is 72. 128 minus 72 is 50. Well, hold on. No, because it was... Where do we find the schedule for the February 25th through 26th live stream day? I think Rendog posted it. It's kind of his event. I'm going to be streaming at 6 p.m. tomorrow and 8 p.m. on Sunday, Central Time, is what I know. But yeah. Hey, we got our first PayPal tip of the stream from Eklogs. Thank you for the 20. That is going to get us $12 past our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to X. Whoa, that's not the right layer. What am I grabbing? Boy. Oh, no. I don't know what that was. Here we go. Expand Joe. Do. So thank you, Eklogs. That puts us now $8 away from the entrance of the Jost. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So when I did the math on this, it was 20 blocks from the edge. Okay. So it was 20 times, so it was... Okay, so 128 minus 40 leaves 88. And then each circle was 18 blocks, so minus 36 is 52. And then we had another 36 a distance between them and the rest, and that leaves 16 blocks remaining. That's why we were short. Yeah, because that doesn't add up to 128. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I'll figure that out. Hey, Dark One Production, thank you for the 8. Who says to finish your goal? That does indeed wipe out this abacus. Up until this point, you've seen each face camera expansion milestone go straight to my head, but now, like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the Jost. Bum, 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 bum. At this point, each additional face camera expansion milestone we hit will be accompanied by a corresponding drop in Joe opacity. That's right, folks, the camera keeps getting bigger, but it also gets slightly more transparent. So, we are now 20 even away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Thank you again to Dark One Production. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So, let's see. This means... Okay. So, if I push... If I round... So, there were a few times that I kind of rounded up. That... If I round down, it brings the scaling all back. So, maybe we just do that. Maybe we just do that. Okay. So instead of 20 on the outside, we go down to 19. Instead of 18 block diameters, we do 2 17s, and then the middle square ends up being about the right size. Would 17 block diameter circles... Okay, here's the real question. Let me pull up Minecraft circles, and if the 17 block circle is way easier or way harder than the 18 block circle, that's gonna really be kind of what decides this for us, because we don't want our circles to look dumb. If, okay, open link in new tab. Open image in new tab. Okay. So which of these circles looks better, 17 or 18? Neither of these actually seems that terrible. Yeah, so that's a 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3 on that. The 17 is a 2.5, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2.5. Okay, neither of these are terrible. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I don't feel too bad about just bringing this in. So we're going to bring these back to here. And then we're going to both move that one over and shorten it one. So then we're going to remove 2 from the end of this. And then that lets us add 1, 2 right here, which lets us remove 2 right there. And then if we come at this from the other side, this should even out, I think. Okay, so we move this whole thing back 1. Shift this back 1 and shorten it by 1. Okay, shift this one back by 2. And then this is a rounding error at this point, this extra torch. Okay, yeah. There we go. This is what we're... Storm Climber, the picture is what we're trying to carve out. So that's a picture of the pinball machine that we are using as a model for this. Okay. Cool. So now we figured out, at least on one axis, where this stuff goes. Now I have other photos that show like where where those are in relation to everything else. But for what we needed to do today, I feel like this is actually pretty good. Let's fly up here real quick and look down. Okay, if I duck out of the way and I get rid of this picture, y'all can see these markings pretty clearly, I would hope. So we have space, then circle, then a space, then a square, then a space, then a circle. And that'll do it. Like this passes the eyeballing it sanity check for alignment. I don't know if the zoom is good enough on the stream for y'all to see that. I'm ducking out of the way again. Let me make sure I haven't missed any other tips rolling in. Good, good, good. Okay. So, that's nice. Got that going for us. Alrighty. Well, it definitely looks like something. It looks intentional. So that's... Are the circles and squares the same width? Not exactly. The circles are the same width as each other. But once again, if I turn the picture on, you can kind of see what that looks like. And we also got to put the bolt hole in But we'll do that. Well, do we want to do that now? I don't think we need to do that now. I'm actually my brain, after just doing this much math and this much spatial reasoning on there, starting to wind down. We got another 5 rolling in from Caitlin, who says, "Grow the Joe." Well, we are indeed 15 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. I think that's gonna be last call for tips. I'm gonna keep streaming for a few minutes, while we let those roll in, because sometimes it does take a minute for PayPal tips to come in, especially from international folks. If you enjoy the Friday night streams, tipping is one of the best ways to let me know that this is the sort of show you want to see me put on at this time. So, yeah, I appreciate it. Ooh, let's see. For those of y'all who haven't seen much of the pinball machine, I see we got a lot of new people in tonight. Let's go ahead and fly out here. This is themed after space telescopy, like space telescopes and stuff. It's called Deep Field. I'm designing the play field and whatnot myself. The art is based off of a deep field photo from the James Webb Space Telescope. And so we're working on the artwork there. The temporary art with the name of the machine is over on this side, Deep Field. On the actual machine, the translite up here will be where the name is. It'll say Deep Field across the top and have some cool space image. But yeah, so for the next week or two, I'm going to be doing a lot more pixel art, getting this up on the back boxes and whatnot. But then I also, like I said, I need to be carving out the holes and stuff for the conduits to figure out where the logic of the Elytra course is going to go. I'm not quite ready to start working on the playfield. Realistically, I don't think I'm going to be working on the playfield until after I get back from London, which will be in late March. But yeah, there's plenty to do otherwise. So yeah, we are definitely on it. Cub fan left the game. Etho left the game. What am I going to London for? I'm going to meet my fiance's family. My fiance has been to America multiple times and met my family and my friends, but because I'm a single parent, it has been hard for me to get over there. So I'm finally got the opportunity to meet their family and friends. So I'm excited about that. Okay. So looks like no other tips have rolled in. Let me start pulling up who we can raid. Now all the other hermits are logging off. I'm like, oh no, it's clearly getting bedtime-y. You know who's streaming tonight? We normally don't get to raid. Is Steve-O Pub, a.k.a. Escher Leskoff, the #1 pinball player in the world by IFP rankings at the moment, who he is also friends with Don't Panic Flip and lives in Colorado. So I've seen him on Don't Panic Flip's stream a few times. I've watched him as part of tournament streams. He is getting into streaming more himself, so I hope that you check him out and say howdy. Our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do.